In today's pattern, let's do the reversible spike stitch pillow, a free pattern by Yarnspirations.com, made by Repeat Crafter Me. So welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as Yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. This is a free pattern that was designed by Sarah of Repeat Crafter Me of doing this pillow. It's a really neat concept as you see here, and it's reversible, so the back and the forward look the same when you go to do this. It's a very straightforward pattern, and what we've done here is that sometimes it's hard to get the pillow form that is asked for. So it's a 16-inch, but sometimes I find this hard to get in a store near me. So sometimes it's either 12, 14, could be 16, it could also be 20 or even 18 inches for that matter. And so what I've done on the Crochet Crowd on this particular pattern is that I provided you the amount of chains that you need to do in order to get to the different sizes that you need to do. So all you can just do is just change your sizes for the chain, and then just have to measure up then to the size. So if you do for example the chaining of 14 inches, you can just follow that, and when you just keep going back and forth until you get 14 inches high, and then you're done. So what I would do is do one panel first, and then you can do the other the same way of like doing this, so it's reversible, so the back side's like this. But in this particular pattern there's a back side to it where there's two panels that overlap each other, and it's just single crocheted all the way around. So you put the panels together and you just single crochet yourself. So it's really quite a simple pattern to be able to follow, very straightforward. But today I'm gonna show you and concentrate really on the spike stitches that are involved that are quite easy to follow. So today's yarn of choice is the Bernat Maker Home Deck yarn. This is a fabulous yarn. It is very durable. It's perfect for these kinds of projects, and it looks really quite nice, and this is great yarn to also start learning how to do crochet. So because it's thick and you cannot ever split the plies with these, it's just a wonderful product to be able to work with. It's super stretchy, and it's of cotton yarn, so those that are living in warmer climates can be able to handle this even as a full Afghan size, which there are free patterns available for that. So what we're looking at here is that we're looking at getting ourselves started, and then there's gonna be a repeat pattern. So we gotta get ourselves started down here, and then we start then playing with the drop down of the spikes, and then once you understand that concept, the rest of it is quite easy to be able to follow, and we're gonna be concentrated on today. Now Sarah, when she designed this, it's a nice tight pattern in comparison to using the hook size that's recommended for this yarn. It's an 8mm size L that was recommended for this yarn, but she has reduced down to 6.5 size K crochet hook. I think that's a great choice for this because you don't want any obscene gaps when you're coming to do any kinds of projects like this. So let's grab our maker yarn, and you can do as many different colors as you wanted to. You can follow her color scheme, which it would go well in my house, I know it would, or you can just stay safe and just play with the nice creamy colors and grays and colors that you see here. So let's grab our yarn and let's get ourselves started, and I'm gonna show you a smaller swatch sample because once you get it, you get it. It's quite easy. So let's begin. For Sarah's size, that you needed a chaining of 46 for the 16-inch pillow, but if you'd like to change your sizes, you can go on the Crochet Crowd and get those size chains that you need. And if you want to alter this and make it even into an Afghan, you just have to keep it in multiples of 4. So okay, so that's what I'm gonna do today to do a small swatch. So go 1, 2, 3, and 4, and keep going until you're satisfied. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Make sure you follow the pattern if you're doing a pillow, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. Once you're satisfied with the length of this, if you are customizing it right now, you just have to add 2 more. So it's multiples of 4 plus 2. So just go 1 and 2. So let's begin row number 1. So row number 1, very simple. Second chain from the hook, so here's 1, and go this one. This is the second. Turn it around and get the back loop only of the chain, and I want you to single crochet yourself going back across this chain. Okay, so please do that, and I'll see you at the end of this chain. I'm now coming all the way across, and that's it. So just single crochet into the final. So that's it. So in the next 3 rows are all gonna be identical to each other as we're getting started on this pattern. So we need to create the background before you can do those spikes that go down. So the next 3 rows are all gonna be the same, and I'm gonna show you. So you're gonna chain up 1, and you're just gonna do a single crochet into each stitch going all the way across. You're gonna turn, do it again, turn, and do it again. So you're gonna have 3 rows that are all single crochet. You wanna know a secret on this pattern? This repeat pattern consists of 5 rows that are all the same color. So even when you do the spikes, 4 rows after that will just be single crochets, and then you change your color. Then spikes again, and then the 4 rows after that are going to continue to be single crochet. If you can remember that, you can remember this pattern quite easily. So single crocheting all the way across, and then when you get to the end, you turn your work, okay, turn and do it again. So in this case you are only going to repeat 3 times because the first one already counts as 1. So there should be a total of 4 rows altogether that appears before we move on. Okay, so I'll see you that at the end of that, and then I will get you started on the next color, which will then do spikes. So I'm coming up to the end of my final row. So what it appears now, you should have a total what appears to be 4. So 1, 2, 3 and 4. You're gonna be done this color. That's it. So just fasten this off, and I want you to get your next color ready. Just what I want you to do is just pull through that loop, and I want you to weave this in and out of the top edges of the stitches. And then we're going to talk about spikes, because the spikes may throw you off because it's written in 2 different ways on this pattern, but there's a reason for that, and I'll tell you a little bit about that. Once you weave it in a certain amount of distance, you can safely then trim it and forget it. So let's move along and let's start the next row, which is the first set of spikes. So as we begin to do the spikes in the next section, we're gonna just do the first one of a single crochet in, and then we're gonna spike all the way down, and then spike a little less, spike a little more less, and then single crochet, spike all the way down, and etc. So the reason why I told you that it's written in 2 different ways is because once you get this done, so you're gonna go across, you're gonna come back and single crochet. You're gonna come back, single crochet, and single crochet, and look, you're over here when you go to start the gray. So what this means is when you go to start this gray is that you're gonna spike at the top, spike a little bit more, and then spike all the way down and then back up. So when you go to start this row over here, you're spiking all the way down first and then getting more smaller, and when this side here, when you get to that, see, when you get to that, you're going to be less, more, and more, and then back up, less, more, and more. So that's exactly how we're gonna do it. So you just gotta watch what side that you're doing this on, and it's really quite easy to follow anyway, but it's something that you need to look for. So let's grab my yarn and let's show you how to do spikes. So let's start my next yarn. So the spikes are gonna be the starting of this color, and then we're gonna then do 4 more rows of single crochet after that with the same color, and then switch. So coming into the top where you stopped, and you want to fasten on your yarn with a slip knot. Okay, so you're gonna chain 1 and single right into the first one. So the first one is gonna be a single crochet. So in this particular line we're gonna spike all the way down, and so you just gotta follow it all the way down, and you're just gonna go right into the very first row of the single crochet. So all you're just gonna do in order to do that is that you want to insert your hook all the way down, so just going right all the way down, come from the behind and grab this yarn and pull through, and then just give it some slack just like that, and finish it off as a single crochet. So then you're gonna move to the next stitch. Okay, so the next stitch is right here, so just follow it up diagonally, and so you're just gonna go into the next stitch, pull the yarn from behind, and then give it some slack, and then finish it off as a single crochet. Then you're gonna want to do the next one again, just moving up diagonally, pull through, and then finish it off. And then the very next stitch that you're running into, because you see how you're covering up those stitches, is right here, and you're just gonna single crochet just like that. So you keep moving along your line the same way. So the next one's a spike all the way down, so just follow it all the way down. So I'm just gonna come all the way down, just follow it, going in, pull through, give it some slack, don't be too tight about it, and then you go to the next one. Okay, so just follow it up diagonally here, so it's the next row up, and finish it off, and then you go to the next one. That's a spike too, it's just not as big, so there's there, and then the next one is a single crochet. So you're gonna do that all the way down your row. So you're just gonna keep on going, so just come all the way straight down for the next one, and then finish it off with a single crochet, then coming to the next one, come to the next one, and if you've played your cards right with your count, your very final one will be a single crochet in, just like that. So you've spiked going down, got less, less, and then single. So all the way down, less, less, and then single. So now you're gonna turn your work and you're gonna move yourself back up. So 4 more rows of just single crochet. So how hard is that to remember? Not hard at all. So you're just gonna chain up 1, single crochet into each, and then turn your work, and you need to do 4 rows of just straight single crochet back and forth, and then finish off that color, and then bring on a new color once you're done that. Let me do that and I'll see you back here in just a moment. So I'm finishing up my 4 rows of just single crochet, and that's it for this color. I'm done. So what I want to do is just trim off this yarn, and I want to weave it in, and I'm gonna bring back the same clay color because that's convenient for me, just to give you an idea on how to do that. So I'm just gonna weave this in about an inch or so. And then trim off my yarn. So now I'm gonna bring back the clay color. So we gotta turn our work first, and this is what I've talked about. I'm gonna get rid of this straggler while I'm at it here. So this is what I was talking about. So remember the first time we ever did spikes, we went down straight down, okay, and we did all the way down and then less and less and then single. So when I go to start here, you see how this one here is not as far down as the way that we started before. This means that we have to start off light and then work our way down. So let's begin with our next yarn. So creating a slip knot, and I'm gonna join it to the top, and the joining is always gonna be the same when we do that. So we just pull it through as a slip stitch, chain up 1 and 1 single into the first one. So this time when we go to do this one, just look to what's already below. So this one's less, more, and more. So the next one, then you just gotta come down and you gotta just kinda look at it in order to keep it in balance, okay? So you have to go, if you go into this one here, this is a single crochet, so you have to go straight down, and that's your first one. And then follow it down diagonally down to the next one. So here's the next one right here. Okay, so coming into the next one, make sure you just give yourself some slack, just like that. And then the next one's gonna be even deeper. So way down here is the next one. You could have fun with spikes. You can follow your own design if you really wanted to. And all you're just gonna do then is just work yourself all the way across. So now that you got the one all the way down, the next one is then just a single crochet. And I'm gonna bring that straggler to the back side. See? So you just matched exactly what you had already in the blue. So let's continue our next one. So the next one is not as much, so just come down. So first spike. The next one is just down diagonally. Once you get these started, these go really quite fast. The next one is then even deeper, so just coming down right down there. Sometimes it's harder to see it when you're first starting this. And then the next one is just a single crochet. Just keeping in balance. Okay, so the next one is not as deep. The next one's a little deeper. The next one's all the way down. And then the final one is a single crochet. So all you're just gonna do then is then the next 4 rows are basically single crochet to create the layers that you're gonna go over, and then you're gonna switch your colors back, and then you're gonna do this again. So if you're changing your sizes, all you just have to do then at this point is then once you get it, you measure it across, and then you measure to what you want for the height in order to keep that in balance. So you saw my other example that I tried. This is my homework. So for example, if I wanted a pillow that happens to be this size here, I want to measure. That's 8 inches, so I would have to do 8 inches in the height, just like this, so I can see that I still have a few more inches to go, and then I stop once I get there. I want to be mindful of where the spikes are so that I don't end up with the whole section without any spikes. So just if I was to do it and end it, I would probably end it right here at this particular line because the spikes are in, and that's exactly what I would do. So the back of the pillow, let's talk a little bit about that. So the back of the pillow is made up of 2 panels. You can do a solid panel and a same panel like this if you wanted to. That's completely up to you. So the panel on the back is basically really quite easy. So for example, let's say it was a 14-inch pillow. So the back panel is going to be a total of 9 inches each. So there's gonna be 2 that overlap each other. So you're gonna have 2 panels that look the same, and they will be both overlapping then at a certain point. So they're just gonna be single crochets if you look at the pattern. And so they're overlapping, and she's got a button that holds it into position just like this. And so all she's doing then is that she's going around with the main panel and then using those other back panels. When she goes to go all the way around, she's just single crocheting herself through the stitches on the outside in order to keep it in balance. And it's really quite straightforward. It's very easy to follow on the pattern, and we have other pillows where we've done that as well. Let me just quickly show you how to make sure that you can go around, and I'll use these as an example. So just as a demonstration, I'm just gonna show you what it's gonna look like. So you're going to start off with a slip knot with your yarn of choice, so you can be any color you want to go. So you're just gonna go in right into an edge, and you're gonna go to the other panel that is in the back. So even if it's a half panel or a full panel, you're gonna go into the exact same stitch, right into the same one, and then you're just gonna wrap the yarn and pull through as a slip stitch, chain 1 and 1 single crochet into each. The corners will have 3 single crochets into the corner to make that turn. So you're just gonna move along the panel on the one side, and then you're gonna just grab the other panel on the back side and just single crochet them together. If you pinch them together, the stitches should line up because you use the same hook, you use the same pattern. So even if you've done single crochets for your back panels, this is how you do it. So you're gonna work all the way down, turn your corner with 3 single crochets in the corner, and then work your way down. So because the backs have half panels, you're going to stop joining them right where they are right where they let go. So you wouldn't join anymore beyond this point. But the other one is gonna be coming up on top of it. So what you have to be watching for is that when it comes up on top of it, you're not only gonna go through this one and this one, but you're also gonna go through the third one, and it creates that pocket that you need in order to slide your pillow in. Just refer to the instructions for more information about how to do that. It's really quite easy, and it's just a matter of being able to follow through and just joining them together just like so. So this is how to do the reverse spike stitch pillow. It's really quite an easy pillow to do. It looks really quite fabulous, and the stitch work and the hook size is just perfect for what you wanted to do in order to create a really kind of a cool decoration for yourself for your home. So until next time, I'm Mikey on behalf of the Crochet Crowd as well as Yarnspirations, with special thanks to Repeat Crafter Me, Sarah. And until next time, have a great day.